I've got 6:36, calling the meeting to order, Monday, April 27th, at 6:36. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda that may be amended?
So moved.
I'd like to take item number 5 and move it down to item number 11, and then everything below that. We have the listers here. They don't need us to get into that stuff before them. So, and there's a couple other little tiny things. So, can I get a second on that change?
I'll second it.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, approval of the minutes. Got special select board meeting drafts of April 6th. This was the truck bid, the zoning bylaws and subdivision regulations, 27 budget, executive session. I don't have anything in here that I can see. Can I get a motion to first accept the April 6th?
April 6th, you're good.
April 6th. Okay. So,
So moved.
second?
Second.
Anything that you guys, what do you have, Patrick?
This is the 13th. This is the next one.
Oh, okay. So, all in favor of April 6th, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. April 13th, so a regular board meeting. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Can I get a second?
This is number 5 on V. It should also include a tobacco license.
Okay, so,
Yeah.
so number 5 underneath licenses, Sherburne Golf's services application for first-class and third-class liquor license and outside consumption permit for the Green Mountain National Golf Course, plus a tobacco license. I don't think I read that off. I thought we did the tobacco the last time. That was cigars or something?
Yeah, it's the same.
Yeah, I think we approved that in a prior meeting.
Okay, it was
So-
all there in the same list.
Okay.
So it's getting
what-
renewed.
Okay, so, that's the only changes that I have here, to add plus a tobacco license on number 5 for the Green Mountain National Golf Course. Anything else? All those in favor? Aye. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes of April 13th? I didn't see anything in here either. So, motion, please.
So moved.
A second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Citizens' comments and concerns. I'll go to the audience first. I'll start looking this way. Anybody? John, go ahead. You had your hand up first. Just say your name, too, so they can hear you.
John Walson, Killington. So I wasn't at last week's meeting, but I read in the paper that you're considering diverting funds from the pool, or not diverting funds, but taking funds away from the pool, and instead using them potentially for the bus or something else, and just trimming the budget that way. I don't know. But I just would voice my concern about the pool. We obviously know there's problems with the pool, something needs to be done with it, so you're gonna have to spend money at some point, and I hate to see money being diverted away from something we need. It's a huge town resource. Thanks.
I think I said that later on in the meeting, but we're still, it was 75,000 going over to the roads. It's not going to a bus. And we did talk about later on putting it back into a future budget, but thank you for your input. Andrew, say your name?
Andrew Gedda. I have a question. Any update on the water line built by Casella? I haven't seen any action there at the water pump house. Any
I heard from Joe Casella the other day, because he just called up or whatever, and I asked him that question, and he said they're scheduled to come in May.
Yeah, they're on stop work right now until May. So it should be picking back up shortly.
And one of the other items that is coming up after this is Killington Forward update schedule, and we all received an email that I'll read off from Stephanie Clark. No, I can't because I don't have that phone with me, but we can pull it up.
I got it.
Well, Patrick could pull it up and share it, okay? There's nothing private in that. Anybody online have anything that they would like to say underneath the first citizens' input, comments, and concerns? Steve Feiner raised his hand. Now you just have to unmute. There you go.
Yeah, I just had to unmute. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. My name is Steve Feiner. I've been a resident of this town since 1983. 43 years permanent resident. 10 years prior to that, coming weekends and vacations. I've seen a lot of changes. Not all changes are easy or good, but I do have a comment about the agenda, the selectmen's meeting. I know the chairman has the authority to set the agenda and ask the board if they have anything they want to change. I basically believe that this agenda is set such that the community will not have a big part of the process of things coming up. I lost my train of thought here. I've not seen in many years that the executive sessions at the beginning or middle of the meeting, tradition. I don't know if I'll say traditionally, but what I've always heard in past boards, they were at the end of the night, which gave people, they didn't have to sit with the board while they went out for 10 minutes or an hour, doing what's their due diligence. And I just have a comment that I think that's poor manners to the community. The other thing I want to say is the funds that were moved from the rec department funding for the new pool and moved to the roads. I don't disagree with roads, but this board spent a large amount of time going back and forth and around about adjusting the budget, and all you did was take stuff from the rec, put it in the road, and the bottom line number of that section of the budget did not change. I find that inappropriate. That's my comments.
Thank you. Anybody else online? Not hearing that?
Keith?
No, he
I
just,
would like to say, could I say something? This is Linda.
go ahead.
So Linda Prime, and I just have a statement that I would like to read. I am an employee of the town. It is clear that the board cares deeply about the town and strives to be fiscally responsible. Several select board members have stated in recent meetings that they have spent a considerable amount of their personal time and energy researching cost savings to be gained by changing or reducing employee benefits. Cutting employee benefits without first exploring all other cost-saving strategies is not responsible governance. It places the burden of budget challenges squarely on the people who can least absorb it and who have the least control over the decisions that created the financial pressure in the first place. This re-examining of the budget is not fiscally responsible, because if it truly were, we would be hearing the board members discussing how much time they have also spent looking into operational efficiencies, structural adjustments, shared services, long-term planning adjustments, or targeted reductions in non-essential spending. I'm asking the board to directly explain and specifically name what non-benefit cost-saving options, cost-saving options have they considered, how they have gone about evaluating those options, and why employee benefit reductions were prioritized over all other alternatives. If that analysis exists, I think we would all really like to hear about it.
Thank you.
The town employees deserve better, and our community deserves a process that's rooted in fairness, transparency, and due diligence. I appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We're talking to an employee that I believe might be in the union and getting into benefits, so thank you for your comment.
Sure.
Killington Forward update schedule. So I had asked for Patrick to put this on. We met, I believe, the first day or first week after the election with Stephanie Clark, which was a recorded meeting, and it's on the town.
Day of the week, I have no idea.
Like, I think it was Tuesday or whatever, okay? We had met, and I feel like this board needs to get back on track of knowing what's going on in town, and I think that the citizens need to know what's getting back on track. So, as you can see, that Stephanie had given me a call the other day. She's kind of printed out some things, and this just came out this afternoon, so, you know, I'm sure you guys will take a look at it before our next meeting or whatever. She is asking, how would we like these meetings scheduled? Bi-weekly, monthly? Personally, me, I think once a month would be enough, that we could have a meeting and hear updates from the team of what's going on. She has here some kind of outline process and team member overview. I guess that is the Killington Forward and the TIF team member overview or whatever. Water contract 1 through 3A, which we were just asked or whatever, so I believe she will be in here in the next meeting going over some of this in 2 weeks. Construction status and completion timeline, whatever. Water contract 4, which is what SUR is currently doing right now from East Mountain Road down just past Ravine Road. Yeah, past Ravine. See that. Water contracts 5 through 7, minus 6B, because 6B is already in at at Anthony Way down to Route 4. 7 goes from the bottom of Route 4 past the town hall towards the old ERA building, I believe. Okay, then Act 50 covers water and road, could be moved to item 2 if that makes more sense. I do believe that makes more sense to move Act 250 up to number 2. Okay, and then can you scroll down a little bit more? Road Phase 1A, which is from the Grand Hotel to just above the lookout. Okay, and then Road Phase 2 is basically from the lookout down to Anthony Way. So that will be on the agenda, and I hope you guys all take a look at this and give your feedback to Stephanie directly. Do not get into answering all right, because then that will get into a conversation.
Yep. She is looking, I thought she sent out a doodle poll, but
She said she would, but I have not seen
I haven't seen that yet either.
Okay.
I think she's trying to have it happen during the day.
Yeah, and so take a look at it, and let's see if it could be like at 4 o'clock or something like that. We'll take a look at when we get the doodle and answer back there, but I know some of us are working and probably.
Yeah, if
4
she could
o'clock.
include early evening hour option as well, that would be
Yeah,
good.
well, we
Do
could,
you
that
mean
that
like
could be part of
5,
the.
6.
Like, yeah, not late, but like, you know, on the cusp of the end of the business day.
And this would not be one of our regular scheduled
This is a special-
meetings.
it'll be a
This would be a
special meeting.
special
Correct,
meeting.
yeah.
Okay, so that could be a different day of the week or whatever.
So we're not incorporating it into the regular meetings?
We're not going to incorporate it into the regular meeting. There's going to be enough stuff here getting up to date of what's going on. Okay, so that's all I wanted, and it was great that she sent this over today, so
Yeah.
we can have it up.
The meeting's going to be held here, or it's going to be online? Because we have to, there's other people using this space, so we got
So
to
then-
work around that.
The doodle will be verified with Patrick
Okay.
and Linda to verify that the room is available.
Okay.
We have a schedule for this.
Yeah, there is a schedule for it, okay? So, all right. So that's it on the Killington Forward update. Since we are, I mean, I'll open it to the public. I don't see this is just an update of where we're going. I don't think there's really any discussion here. The discussion will be more of when we have the meeting and going from there, but I'll look in the audience and step away from there. I'll look into the Zoom people to see if they have any questions on it or whatever, but like I said, I think it's just more of, we're going to get back to knowing what's going on in town on the TIF funds and on the TIF projects and all the road and the water projects. So, not seeing any hands up. The next thing here is Board of Liquor Control. I think Peggy thought what we did the last time, because it was actually her thought anyway.
They're all renewals,
They're
too.
all renewals. that,
That was your thought, Peggy?
it was,
Thank you.
to read it all off. and-
No, thank you for enhancing efficiency.
You know.
That's where we need to focus, thank you.
You know, so Dominic's business entity name is Glaze Inc., an outside consumption permit, first-class restaurant, third-class restaurant, they're both bar too, and a tobacco license is the first one. The next one is Liquid Art Coffee House, otherwise known as B&J Ventures LLC, Beth and Jim. Outside consumption permit, third-class restaurant bar license, first-class restaurant bar license. Can I get a motion for the town clerk to move forward with these permits on this sheet of paper?
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
Well, Ricky made the second, so, any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Listers reappraisal update. We wanted to get to you guys fast, and ladies, okay?
Team.
Could you move that microphone over, like, so if we don't pick up good, and at least it's on the PEG TV? I think everybody's interested in knowing where we're at so far, and when the first set of grievances with the listers can start.
Vision Government Solutions has completed their valuation, and the updated values were posted to their online database as of Friday, April 24th. Vision meetings have now concluded, and the first step of the appeals process is done. So as the values are now publicized, pre-grievance, which is the second phase in the appeals process, has now begun. Property owners may now appeal their property values directly to the listers. On the Killington Town website, there's a link up top for the 2026 reappraisal site, where you can schedule your pre-grievance hearing, and there's an application form that is to be completed before the appointment. Hearings can be in person, by phone, or in writing, at the choice of the property owner. And we would like to encourage property owners to go to the website and begin the process. The listers are currently working with Vision and the state program NIMRIC to get the property values fully uploaded to the state of Vermont so that the grand list can be officially lodged. Once the grand list is officially lodged, 14 days after that, pre-grievance will transition into grievance, and it will continue until the 28th day of May as per state statute. So if we get the grand list lodged, that's 14 days. That doesn't leave us a lot of time for actual grievance, so we'd like to encourage folks to get started now so that we're not slammed at the end of the 28th. So they do not have to wait until official grievance, but you can begin your conversation now. And then if people have questions about the process or their unique property values, we request that you refer them to the listers in writing at listers@killingtontown.com, as we have the most accurate and up-to-date information.
Thank you. Any questions from the board?
I can follow up a little bit on, I also talked to Vision about some of the questions regarding the timeline and your great suggestion on check the first-class receipts. The commercial notifications were sent out April 6th with U.S. First Class, which is supposed to be 1 to 5 days. It took the mail about 12 days to get to individuals, so that's part of it. Vision was a little late coming out, but also the delay was the U.S. Post Office. There's also some people were told that they would receive a, if you met with Vision on your residential, and they said, oh, we'll send you something in 2 weeks. That person that said that spoke in error, so that is why we haven't received in 2 weeks. They do it in batches. The first one may have received it, but as the later batches went, it's closer to 3 or 4. So if you haven't received it yet, they did just send out their final batch, and now we're waiting to see. But if you do not, their advice was if you do not get it or you're concerned, go straight to the listers, and I believe that was also the listers' advice was just start the pre-grievance if it is a concern.
I was 6 weeks ago. I haven't gotten
Yeah.
either letter. Just
Yeah, no,
saying.
the first individual was not authorized to say 2 weeks.
Yeah. Well, when I spoke with Vision, when I went for a commercial property after the residential, and I had mentioned I was told 2 weeks, they did say it would be 2 weeks after they were completed.
Yes.
Which they just completed really on Friday, is what we're being told, so.
Yep.
So, you know, that it happens, okay? Any questions from the board?
But all the values on the website are the most recent. And then once we go through grievance and pre-grievance, they'll be updated again. So the website will have the most up-to-date information. It also says, when you go to the website, it says the date of the update. So if you get a lister card from us that's dated after April 24th, it won't match online until the next update.
And when will the next update be?
When we have enough changes that we will be doing an update.
So in terms of grievance, will you be, does that fall under what you just said? Will you be updating them as you go through the grievance process, or will you do them only in batches?
We do not do things the same way that Vision does. Our goal is to get the results of the hearings out in a timely fashion, but we're not going to specify that it's going to take us, 2 days or something like that. We're going to go through everything as timely as we can.
I only ask because it could be relevant to others who are going to a grieving to be able to reflect on whatever changes you may have done.
The state sets a timeline that grievance has to be done by the 28th, and all of our replies have to be out by a certain date after that. So the state sets a very strict timeline.
I thought the state statute said for towns less than 5,000, June 4th would be the last for a grievance, and a town could ask for an extension till July 4th, 30 days.
It's May 28th and then June 5th.
Okay.
May 28th is the deadline for a grievance to be done, and then we have until June 5th to post.
I believe the statute
But we
says
can
something.
ask for an extension if we need it.
Yeah, because where John is going with this is that the statute also says is that the grievance shall start 14 days after the grand list
Grand
is
list.
logged,
Correct.
okay? So what you're saying is that some people can come in and do a pre-grievance, and you may get 50 to 100 and then change it before it's actually logged.
No, the lodging is happening very soon.
We're
We just
trying to get that lodged very fast.
Okay, good. That, what I heard was like pre, and then
Pre-grievance and
we'll...
lodging happened around the same time, so basically it's like a 14 days of pre-grievance until actual grievance begins.
Okay, so somebody, what John was getting to, I believe, is that if I went in and grieved, and then there was some error or whatever, I've got 5,000 less square feet than they put on there, and it lowered the price or whatever, and then Vito went in before me, he wouldn't have mine to match, to grieve against.
You're supposed to be grieving against the values that are up, so the values won't get changed online until after grievance is finished.
Right. Well, the grand list has to be, so people can look at the grand list to see comparables in town to
The
theirs.
values that are posted online by Vision are the values that are being done with the lodging of the grand list.
Okay,
We just
Those
have
are
to
the
officially
values
send
we're
it.
trying to move up to Nimerick
Yeah.
so that we can then lodge.
Yeah, so we expect to do that within the next week.
We expect to do it a lot sooner than that.
Okay,
It's
so once the book
it's
is
subject
logged.
to-
Okay, perfect.
It's subject to Vision being able to do what they're supposed to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So it will be logged, and then there will be a warning
If there's
for a
any-
grievance.
If there's
Yes.
any questions, just call us.
I'm here for other people that are going to be asking questions, and
Then you should have them call us or email us.
Can I-
You shouldn't
can-
be answering their
Can
questions.
can-
You should
can I
be having them
finish?
call
Can I
us.
finish? Please, let me finish. So when I get the phone call, I can tell them they could either listen to this meeting and get the information, or they can call or email you. Thank you. Any questions from the public?
When does the actual first grievance meetings begin?
Tomorrow.
So-
Grievance will begin 14 days from the official lodging of the grand list. Pre-grievance can begin tomorrow.
That's what exactly I just said. So you're going to hold the pre-grievance, and someone's going to go in and say, I'm grieving this, and then maybe the day after, you're going to log the grand list, and everybody has 14 days from when the grand list is logged. That's the statute. So if people want to go in before the grand list is logged, then they're calling that a pre-grievance. Or you can wait for the grand list to be logged with the clerk's log. Lodged.
Yes.
Lodged.
Lodged.
Not my long, I have to get my, logged.
Lodged.
Lodged. So go in after it's lodged, and then you'll have all the information in front of you to do comps. Or you can go in for a pre one and then go in later on again if you felt like it. But 14 days after. Andrew Geeter, I think you had your hand up.
Andrew Geeter. Are you guys satisfied with the way Vision handled it, this process? Because I had 3 properties. I booked an hour. I came prepared as the hours getting the information. After the meeting, they asked for additional information I provided. One of my properties was updated, but not the other 2. So I believe they maybe forgot about me, lost the other 2 properties among thousands of other applications, because obviously I would prefer them to finish what I started instead of going in front of you guys.
So when you grieve, that is not an automatic indication that your value will change, right? It doesn't, it could go up, it could go down, it could stay the same. So even after those vision meetings, the same thing. It could go up, it could go down, or it could stay the same. So if your property's value did not change, then perhaps vision didn't feel that either you provided sufficient evidence or that the evidence provided didn't justify a change.
Yeah.
We have all of the notes from their meetings. So when we go to meet with you, we will have those notes to review as well. That was their opinion of the data and the interpretation of it. Now it comes to us. That's why we have this multi-part process.
Okay.
So now that's what they did. Now we're going to move on to us.
So Marissa, I kind of understood. I had 3. They gave me 2 answers, 2 of them up or down or whatever. The third one stayed equal. So now's my chance, if I still believe, I can come in and I can grieve that, and it can go up, stay the same, or down.
Yep.
When you start grieving.
Correct.
Okay. George Brandt?
George Brandt, I have a quick question. Are we getting, if they changed it, are we getting a different listers card that we can come down and get to show where they did the changes on?
Yes, you can email us and we can just email you right back.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions in the
There
audience?
it should be online where they changed it, but some of the changes are a little tinier.
There's more on the cards than
There's definitely more on the
You know what I'm
cards,
saying? So I'd like to
yes.
see where they.
That's why we've been
went
trying to
the whole
send
thing.
out,
Can I
people
come down and
ask.
get it too, or?
Yes.
Sure, okay.
If you want a copy, it's $1.
If you want to print it out, if you want us to print it, it's $1.
It's all good.
If you want an email, it's free.
I'll pay the $1.
Okay, except for me. Don't email it to me because I'll pay the $1. Any questions online on the Zoom, on this here for the listers update? Not seeing any, thank you. RRP Sutton, Rutland,
Ready?
Not tonight.
No, tonight. You don't. You do
Hey,
it.
George, thanks. Rutland Regional Planning Commission Tier 1 resolution.
This is something that the board signed in last June or July. The Rutland Regional Planning Commission has updated the map, so there needs to be a re-signature of it. I have the copy to sign.
Can I get a motion to re-sign the Rutland Regional Future Land Use Map Proposed Changes in Killington?
You only need your signature.
Yeah. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
A second?
Second.
Discussion?
Jim, actually, could you make it not the map, but tier 1, the 1 big? I think the last page has a resolution.
Regional, well, reference Regional Future Land Use Map Proposed Changes in Killington, including 1D designation.
Okay, great, thank you.
I went through this. To me, there's there's language, I'm gonna say yay, but I went through it, and it still talks about tier 3 and some things at the end of it, and we know that's getting repealed, and there's also talking part of tier 3, Tier 3 is supposed to be completely taken out. There's also an 800-foot roadway, and a total of 2,000 or 2,200 feet of either roadway and driveways that is supposed to be repealed from it, and maybe some other items. So I just want to make sure that we put in the minutes that you're allowing me to sign this knowing that there is some repeals coming, if you feel comfortable to say yay when we have to vote, that's all. Because on page 6, it has tiers 2 and 3 areas, and it reverts back to the old tier 3 qualifications. So, any conversation from the board? This is out of our hands. It's going to be fought up in Montpelier, and you're going to get a lot of other people that may start fighting tier 2 and fight the whole thing altogether.
And so this is more, the email beforehand is more of just like explanation of stuff. What you're actually signing, I don't believe references the tier 3 in the road rule directly. It's just a resolution stating that.
So whereas in accordance with Vermont statute 10 VSA section 6033, a municipality may request tier 1B status for the purpose of Act 250 jurisdiction. Whereas the municipality has a duly adopted and approved plan and a planning process that are confirmed in conformance with 24 VSA 4350. Whereas the municipality has adopted permanent zoning and subdivision bylaws, we did that last week or the week before, in accordance with 24 VSA 414, 4418, and 4442. Whereas the Tier 1B area excludes identified flood hazard and fluvial erosion areas, except those areas containing pre-existing development and areas suitable for infill development. You want to just put this up on the screen? Or I'm already halfway through.
Yeah, I was going to say, you may be quicker at this
Whereas the
point.
municipality has water supply, wastewater, infrastructure, or soils that can accommodate a community system for compact housing development in the area proposed for Tier 1B. Whereas the municipality has municipal staff, municipal officials, or contracted capacity adequate to support development, review, and zoning administration in the Tier 1B area in accordance with 6033, Chapter C6, and as evidenced by all the following. Appointed or contracted zoning administrator may be permanent or acting. Yearly budget to support the administration of development regulations, including enforcement or appeals as needed. Municipal staff and volunteers can attend training as requested. Zoning administrator and PRB or ZBA and PC regularly process applications within the required timeliness. Technical assistance is available for projects that exceed normal capacity or knowledge by one or more of the following. Check all that apply. There's nothing checked on my sheet.
Well, we're checking this one.
So RPC is Rutland.
Yeah, Rutland Planning Commission.
VLCT is Vermont Leagues of Cities and Towns.
Town attorney.
And a town attorney. You might as well do other. You
Sure.
know.
Should have just done other and.
Yeah, okay. Now therefore be it resolved that the municipality hereby requests to have the following eligible areas mapped for Tier 1B status. Check all that apply. There's no checks here, but we're going to be checking. Well, check all of it. Just check them all.
It would be the village area, it's the village area, village center, and,
Well, that's what they're looking at, but we're going to check all of them in case they ever change again, because they're making a lot of different changes. So for the sheet that I'm checking each one of the boxes here, adopted and duly noticed public meeting held on, and today is April
27.
2026.
Does this include the employee housing area?
So so this would be a
That
1B, that's down in that area there.
Planned growth area.
Planned
Planned growth area, okay.
you know, but they may be changing, who knows what they're gonna do. Okay. So that's what this is here. And, this may not take effect for a while anyway with them, so. Can I get a motion to accept the municipal resolution for Tier 1B instead of the other?
So moved.
Second? Second. Thank you, Ricky. Any questions from there? Nothing heard. All those in favor?
Aye.
Warrant Alpine Drive Sewer.
This is from last time, or a couple times back. We changed, so we left the top where it said town manager. This is still to me, because it is the collector of taxes. It's the different role. And then we changed at the bottom, upon any land in this town instead of state. But this is to give me the authority under the role as a tax collector to collect taxes related to the Alpine sewer system.
And since I'm not gonna fight it or whatever, because Patrick is here at this time or whatever, so, you know, most of the other things where we say is town managers for, could be
Yeah,
a decade
it's-
away
yeah,
or whatever.
This is just for.
This is just for
this
this
year.
one here.
Yeah.
What we did ask too is like, where's the list of who?
I don't even print out.
That's what we, the two things that we held it up for was the town manager, which I get, but the other one is like, there should be a copy of, do you have it on your?
I would have to pull it off NIMRIC, and I'm not the quickest on NIMRIC. It is, every time that we had this pass before, we haven't had that list attached to it. We can attach it.
Well, it's asking us, I mean, and since we're getting questioned a lot of what we do now, it's not like, you know, everybody wants us to be bullseye. It's asking us, and it's saying in here that levy of the several persons named in the foregoing list, and I don't have a foregoing list. So I'll make a motion for you guys to approve this, but can I get a motion? I made the motion, can I get a second?
Second.
Any questioning?
I'd like to have the list attached to it, personally.
Is that going to change your decision on, you just want to make sure that's documented correctly, right?
Oh,
That's
this is
Well,
affecting
if I'm
your
being
decision.
asked, and if I'm being asked to sign something, or all of you are being asked to sign something, and it says, the person's name in the foregoing list here is committed to you, I just would like to
It's
have,
best practice
Okay.
to have all stuff.
you know, I don't want somebody to come back when we're trying to collect their
We will bring
taxes and
this to
say,
the first one in
hey,
May.
I listened to the meeting and my name wasn't on the list. So now, is this to get this to go along with the tax sale property also?
No,
It's
this
usually
is just to collect taxes,
just to collect taxes, okay,
so we can
okay,
get paid for the
okay,
Alpine sewer.
okay. So if you just bring that back to me.
Okay.
You know, listen, can I get a motion to allow Patrick to put the list attached, and we can go in and sign this in the next day or two,
That's reasonable.
okay?
Yep.
So moved.
Second?
Second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
So we'll just have
trying
it
to
in
make
like the warrants.
Yeah, just have it in.
Yep,
the warrant.
that's fine.
Just trying to think through this or whatever, right, Patrick?
We don't want to delay it, but it should be complete.
So, okay. So, treasurer's report / financials,
I thought we were doing executive.
I said,
Is it after this or before?
after this.
After this.
After this. Okay. So, I've got the restricted funds in
Some of these
front of
are
me, but
updated.
where is the financials that I asked for?
This one?
No.
You want the
We get the comparative report. So I don't have that, but anyway, we have the treasurer's report and the restricted funds report. Can I get a motion to accept the treasurer's report as of March 31st, 2026?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Yeah, you're not in the DRB.
Yeah, I know.
So, any questioning on this, yeah?
Is it possible to share this document or not?
Yeah, we should be able to put it up.
I'll just wait.
Oh, I don't know. Monica, do you have a digital version of this?
Yes, it's on the shared drive under treasurer.
Connect to the shared drive. One that you sent to me, though.
Yes.
Yeah, it should be in your email.
Yep.
You can hold on to that one anyway. Patrick and I will share, or look at this.
I got it.
While we're waiting for this to come up, does the board have any questions on this at this time?
On the treasurer's report?
On the
or-
treasurer's report,
But not the restricted funds?
not the treasurer's report.
Yep. Nope, I don't have any questions for the moment.
Okay. So my questions always come up on this thing here, and it's, you know, there's $8,636,207 due to the state on June 1. We don't receive any more taxes really until August, well, the 1st through whatever, because some people pay in advance or whatever. So, and then there's $3,708,122, that's the balance, the restricted funds, and the general fund owes, which, thank you, Monica, okay? So that's now showing the negative numbers when you look at the restricted funds that are in yellow. That, those numbers should equal up to the 634,000, okay? So, what I really like to see a comparative financial, but then also, and I understand that we're short at this time, okay? Understand that, okay? But there is other reasons of FEMA, not FEMA or up on East Mountain Road. There's some of the TIF stuff is outstanding and everything from there. So this is where I think when we make this meeting with White and Burke,
Yes.
that we can get more and more and more. And I believe that first meeting, and Kirsten, you were in it or whatever, and I had said give 6 or 8 weeks or whatever, which is not here yet in that meeting, to try to get a balance sheet of showing what's owed and how much was spent out on the TIF projects and how much is owed back to us and everything else from there. So that's all I have to say here. Any questions from the audience, since you asked Roger for a copy of it?
So, yeah, am I seeing that the golf course then, is that a reimbursement? Oh, so that means the golf course owes us $211,891,000?
Correct, and then in one of the budgets, the budget that just failed, and it's in the current budget also, we're asking for how much out of that 211 right now? $100,000. So it was up around, it was up over 300, it was in the 300 area. They paid back 145,000 in this past year, or the current year, and we're asking for 100,000 of that back into the general fund for this next year.
Leaving a debt still from the golf course?
So then, after this next year, it would be 111,891 and change for prior year startup expenses. Now, let's not get that mixed up with the $6.5 to $7.5 million that the golf course owes, that the taxpayers have been paying bonds for since day one.
I hate to sound like Ed Fowler, but there's a problem with the golf course.
Yeah, okay.
That's it.
Thank you.
You don't remember those meetings, but they were classic.
Yep, I bet. I bet.
Any questions from the audience, other than Roger? Any questions from anyone on Zoom? You can take that down right now.
Thank you.
Not seeing any questions. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Next up, can I get a motion to approve the restricted funds for the town? And this is ending balance March 31st, 2026 again.
So moved.
Second. Questions?
Questions?
So noting Fund 114, title has changed from ARPA funds.
Yep.
Can I get clarification on that?
Yep. So that is ARPA funds that were received during COVID time. Not all of the funds were expended, but during that time, we're allowed to keep them. The condition of receiving those, the condition of keeping those signed by the select board at the time was that any excess fund was to be kept for workforce retention and training.
So February 26, 2024, there was a select board meeting. I looked this up the other night.
Okay, from memory, that's great.
Yeah, so Michael Ramsey, town manager, approached the board and said that we needed to, the funds were given to us, I believe, in 2021, 2022.
Yep.
There was like 200 and something odd $1,000 that was given, and there was a remaining $147,820.75. We were told at that meeting there that we need to obligate the funds before December 31st of 2024, so February 26th, and that it was just a placement at the time, and it could be used for something else at some other time.
The recorded signing
so
does not have that last option.
Yeah, well, so I also looked into the state stuff, and in 2022, the state register shows that the funds were put in for revenue reduction. My question last week's meeting was more of, we were told when it was ARPA funds that there was no funds available.
Patrick, can you let Josh in?
And that there was no funds available, that line item was wiped out. I thought we had asked for, well, Kirsten told us that she didn't believe there was any money left in that fund, okay?
Which fund?
114. We're only talking about Fund 114. I don't really care about the name right now at this point. So I'm still waiting for a run on all the funds. I thought that I heard that this fund was closed out or needed to be closed out because all the funds were spent. So I'm just asking for 114, a complete
Kirsten, do you want to go over that, because we went over this?
Well, I would just like to see it in paper, so we're not sitting here getting learned today. We're going to approve this at this point, but with that exception that we want to see where all the funds in 114 were spent. That's what
So they haven't been spent, they have been accounted for. The ARPA grant has been closed out through the federal government, which means that the funds have been appropriated for whatever they were appropriated for, and part of that was what the select board signed in February of 2024. So
I don't want to get into an argument here with you, Kirsten, but
I'm not trying to get into an argument, Jim.
But when I say something like where the funds were spent, okay, the funds
That's
were...
what I'm trying to say.
Okay, the funds were over $247,000, I believe, that was given to the town for ARPA funds. There's $147,000 left. I'm asking for a run of where the funds were put out of here. There was some $100,000 spent, or maybe more. I just want to run off of it, that's all.
So you want to know the difference between what was obligated and what is remaining, the
I want to
spent
see
amount?
114.
226,041 was the original allocation for the
Yeah.
ARPA fund?
So you want to know what
From
that difference was
226,
spent
Where'd the
on?
money go?
Not the difference, I want to see
Yeah.
where the money went. That's all. Okay?
I have the report on my desk. I will get it for you, Patrick, in the morning.
All right, thank you.
Okay. So, any other questions on this here right now?
I don't know how it's accounted for in the town's books, but I looked at the federal compliance audit, and the last mention of this 147,000 is that it's deferred revenue. Now, I'm not sure I understand what that is. If it's deferred, then we have to recognize it somehow at some point. This is as of June 30th, 2025. So I imagine there's still a balance as of that time in the town ledger, general ledger.
So my understanding was that it had been spent, which is why I said what I did last
It was spent
meeting.
when?
I looked into it, and it has not been spent. It has been allocated,
Committed.
Obligated.
committed, yes, but it has not been spent.
Okay, so when it says committed, which it says on one of these balance sheets in this audit, are we saying that commitment is towards employee retention?
And training.
Okay,
Yes,
based upon what?
Based upon the select board
Based upon-
signing in 2024.
Listen, I just want to see.
2024?
Yeah, and I believe there is, that the funds could be used in different areas or whatever, not
So-
just for that, but I just want to first see, because I believe that there was like, the printer that's now up in the zoning planning commission area, I don't know, 7,500 or 15, I think it was like $7,500. I know that was used towards this. I just want to see, to make sure that there's certain things there. We were paying for people to stay home during COVID, and that would be part of this also, because you had brought up that there was grants out, and this was part of the grant funding. And I say you, so those online, I am looking at Whit Montgomery, okay? So I just want to see a runoff of it, that's all. I'm really glad that we went through the restricted funds last week, because when I asked about 114, when it was underneath ARPA, I was told that everything was spent. So if we didn't have that conversation, we wouldn't be having this conversation. And it looks like there's $147,820.75 in our general fund, but we had to commit by December 31st of 2024, and it has to be spent by December 31st of 2026. That is the rule with those ARPA funds. So if we didn't have this work through or whatever, we may have just gone on for a couple more months and lost $147,000. That's all I'm going with this at this time, so if I can just get the runoff, that would be great. Any other questions?
Covered my base.
Okay.
Deferred grant revenues.
So,
so I do want to caution the board that now that it's been told to the federal government that it was allocated for workforce retention, that if we move that from workforce retention, that there could be some significant issues.
yeah, and we could also get legal advice, and we could go to VLCT, who has all the stuff on this. I just don't want to get into it because there is changes, so nobody is saying to change it that would be putting the town into any position. I hate coming into these meetings, and anytime the board suggests something, we're told we're putting the town into a legal position. We're not.
Well,
We're asking questions, and there's answers out there if you can change it to something or whatever. I don't know. Or how are we going to put it towards what is workforce retention plan? I don't want to know right now. I don't want to know right now. I got a goal to get out of here by 8:30 or 9 o'clock the latest.
I'd also add that if in our last discussion, there was no money there, and we were to lose $147,000, shame on us.
Right.
So that I'd add that to Kirsten's point of, yes, we need to understand the legalities of it. However, it's equally as important to understand that, one, it exists, which as of last week, we said it didn't, or 2 weeks ago, we said it didn't, and then two, to make sure that we use it properly to help do whatever it's supposed to do for either our staff or our town in whatever way it was allocated.
And that's where I'm going to. So when I'm going through this thing here too, I thought there was like a fund a month or so ago, 204 or I don't know what, I forget.
215.
215, okay, and so it's still here. We asked for an update on that. Can you tell us what Fund 2, because at that time, we weren't really sure what Fund 215 was.
Yep. There's actually a couple of changes on the restricted funds that you'll see in April, but using Fund 215, I was able to close two of these negative accounts because the funds that are in 215 are specifically our grants and aid program from about 2 years ago, and there's a small energy grant that's in there as well, which I have to look into, but I'm hoping that can decrease the amount on our solar canopy project that would need to be bonded. So as of right now, Fund 400, which was Bear Mountain Annex, which was related to FEMA, which was a project that was not reimbursable by FEMA, that has been taken care of because it was culverts and bridge work, so we covered that with our bridge and large culvert capital fund. And the Homeland Security grant was a training grant for our fire department, so that has been covered by the training funds that the fire department has this year. So you won't
Kirsten?
see those on the April.
Kirsten, on that 400 where you used the funds from our bridge and culverts, so
Yes.
was that done in advance of our conversation last week where we said there was a 3,000 and some
No.
odd dollar balance?
No, that was after. The Bear Mountain Annex is about $9,890 negative right now, or it was. And then because that, I looked into that, it was matched by Killington Resort that was part of the FEMA, and then it was not eligible for reimbursement from FEMA. So we had to find a place to cover the remainder of it, and it was all bridge and culvert work.
So this is as of March 31st?
Yeah.
And the conversation we had last week was after March
Yep,
31st.
just want to make sure because we
Yes.
had moved funds out of there, so.
And
Yes,
what-
so you'll see that on the April
What we
list.
had done back in 2023, Finneran, Carr, and myself, was we worked with Nicole Kessering, and because of the flood onto East Mountain Road, some of the culverts had to be replaced up above. We got the work done to our spec. We approved in a board meeting for engineering to be done, so some of that cost is there that the town took on, because we're getting tired of private roads flooding out town roads. And then there were bills going out for the one big culvert that's probably 250, 300 feet up from Bear Mountain Road and East Mountain Road. There was one there,
the one that
and then
comes
there was
from-
one further up. in the
You're talking about from
front.
Trailside, right?
Trailside
Yeah.
Drive,
Yeah. And then there was one further up that had to be a big.
There's one
culvert
at the
done.
entrance of Trailside Drive, yes.
So the town did the work to make sure, or put it out to bid for the work to be done. And then the resort, no, not really the resort, it came from the Sunrise Homeowners Association for the Bear Mountain Road agreement that many different companies are, the mountain's on it, Top Ridge is in it, Sunrise is in it.
Base camp.
Base Camp is in it now, and I forget, Cherry Knoll, I forget the name of what that is called right now, but Cherry Knoll is in on that agreement too, so thank you. I would just like ask that when funds are changed, instead of just coming in and trying to figure out what was changed, that we just have a little write-up, Patrick, of,
Annotation of some
you know,
kind.
like, this one is, we took money from here and put it here, so, you know, if everybody's gonna hold us to the penny, then I'd just like to have a little paragraph of what changed on here. That being said, all in favor of the restricted funds for the town, please say aye.
Aye.
Now, we have the restricted funds for the golf course.
Again, this has changed since March
Yes.
31st.
Monica actually may be able to speak to it better. She had a conversation with Justin about this specific.
Yes, I
fund.
did. I did reach out to Justin in Great Life Golf, and I told him like about that fund that we are running negative. We're paying our leases for the mowers like from that account, so we need the money there. So we're gonna like appropriate from their account the 25,000 for now. And when they start run the golf course again, they're gonna to put some money there, like a monthly or.
So at the end of June 30th of 2025, there was restricted funds, there was a total of 64,513.
That's right.
And then, if we get these things each, we would see, in the comparative report, we might see something too, or whatever. So we're only talking up to March 31st of 2026, nothing, whatever. So there's a negative balance, but when I come back to the treasurer's report, and I look at the Sherburne Golf Service Company restaurant, I see that they have, right now, as March 31st, they only have $22,591. But when I look at the pro shop, they have $382,479.
Right.
So I would like to accept the motion. How much money are you saying they're gonna need till they start getting, till they start getting funds back in April, end of April, May?
They're gonna open the May 1st, I believe, the part of the golf course.
Right.
And then and the week after, they're gonna open the whole thing.
So they have enough money to get them through.
Oh, yeah,
The
they
next
do.
couple of months. So can I get a motion for the golf course pro shop to put $50,000 of their balance?
25?
Well,
They're gonna pay it back, they're gonna pay it back anyway to that fund.
Yep.
To transfer $50,000 from the golf pro shop funds that are available to the Sherburne Golf Service Company restaurant.
So moved.
Need a second?
Second.
Any question on this? I mean, if you go through this thing here, you can see on the pro shop, at one time, there was a transfer to the town, that's the $145,000 that, Roger, you were asking about. I believe there's also the Sherburne Golf Service transferred from the pro shop sometimes, once in a while, towards the end of the year.
So we do that because the restaurant account, they don't have the interest on it, it's just
Yeah,
plain
and
account.
then they close down.
And
at
they
the end
close
of the
down, so that doesn't make sense to keep the money on that account.
So this time, we're just putting the money from there to there. We're not touching the town's general fund. The golf course, we're trying to see to keep on going, so. Any other questioning on that? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so you can move on.
Yeah.
So that being said, can I get a motion to accept the golf course restricted funds?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thanks a lot. So,
Budget.
no, now we're going
Oh,
into the
executive
executive session for legal union, and probably only take 15, it's gonna take 15 minutes, so cigarette breaks, bathroom break. Roger, you're in on this, so the town manager is also available. At 7:38, sorry. Motion to go into executive session at 7:38.
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Out of executive session at 8:34 PM. No action taken in executive session other than conversation. Can we move on to FY 2027 budget discussion? I received, can you put it up on the screen? Because I only got it yesterday. I think it was sent out at 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Sunday. I really do think that we need to change our dates from Mondays to another date, because
It's
I
a lot
checked.
to get done in a week.
Well,
Yeah. And for you guys, the Monday is.
But
a bad
it's
turnaround.
also a lot for us to read on
Yeah,
a.
to do on a weekend.
Well,
Can't make
well,
educated
not on a weekend,
decisions.
but I checked my email Friday night, I checked my email Saturday afternoon. I figured I wasn't gonna get it. So can you just run through first on the budget, what changes you have made?
So right now, we're sitting at about a 4% increase to the municipal tax amount, which is equal to $220,000. We have removed out the forensic audit, which we talked about last time.
Understanding that,
That it is going to be reflected
It was
in the
something-
tax rate, but it's not part of the budget, it's separate in June. The select board was put up to 19,000 for legal union meetings. With Roger declining, do you want me to put this down to 6,000?
just leave it there in case he
Okay.
changes his mind.
The real estate was changed because that was a taxable, let me move this, that was a total taxable amount. That's like our last number to change.
Okay, so we had discussions in the board 2 or 3 meetings ago about this grant position for 10 hours a week. Is that in there?
That's still in here.
Okay. Nobody really on the board was warm to that feeling.
Then
Let's take that out.
I concur.
Everyone else agree?
Yes. Yes.
Did we get through where it's 0% for COLA at this point?
Yes.
Did we get the numbers changed for the Beamer's contributions from that and everything? And can
Yeah,
you just-
that's at the end.
Okay, can you just go to us and tell us what that really did or whatever, or show?
Do you have
I
printed
didn't have
copies?
time.
Do you have
I
printed?
don't have printed copies right now.
Just watch our mouth. It's tough, John, I know.
No,
but-
I just asked.
Yeah, I know. And
You
it comes back to the
You can't
Sunday.
review these things effectively on a Sunday afternoon, looking at your,
Well, I made the changes that you guys asked. That's what has been made, and that's what I sent you.
I know, but we
The,
also asked for it to be by Friday, that's all. But let's
Yeah.
stop that conversation, okay?
So health insurance is at 523, because that's where we're currently at with our
Plan.
current plan, with employees and a buffer for if someone comes on and gets health insurance.
so did we have a buffer in the failed at 500 number?
You got to remember, John, the failed 500 number,
So then why is our buffer,
Because we're planning on changing
we're
plans.
not going to the silver?
We can't,
I know that, but that's why.
that's why.
Okay.
Yeah, yes.
we're sticking to the same plan
Social Security is 195, that is,
due to the 3% going point, okay?
yep. Municipal retirement system is 173.
Can you tell us
So
how
why is
that
that number
went
up? Yeah.
Why is that number? Because I calculated it out correctly.
So the last time when we did the 2027
It was not accounting
failed,
for
it was-
vacant positions.
Okay. Okay, so we'll get to
Uh,
that.
ba-
I mean, I guess what you just said is the failed budget of 155 was not accounted correctly, so thank God we got a new budget going for another vote, because it's 20-something thousand, $18,000 more or whatever,
Potentially.
okay? So, okay. Child care contribution is
The
pretty
rest of
much,
this
that's
is the
new or
same.
whatever.
Yep.
Unemployment insurance is the same, uniforms, and knocked down to $2,200. Okay, what was one of the other? And this is why, like, I
Capital funds.
just would like it on Friday.
This was 75,000, it's pulled out, like discussed.
For the pool.
For the pool.
And just once again, we did have a discussion about that, and, you know, there's $600,000 in the swimming pool. I've been taking some heat from people, calling, writing, whatever. You know, I'm the one that started this fund. I care about the school, I care about the pool. I made a decision of $75,000 for a one-time on a $7.5 million bond note that's gonna be put up to the voters is ridiculous. It's like $3 to a taxpayer or whatever, the $75,000, okay? So I'm fine with what I decided to do, or ask for this board to do. So thank you, and Rebecca has sent me texts or whatever, agreeing that she understands the $75,000 needs to be put over to the road, and just asked us to make sure that we think about them again like we have in the past.
And we will.
Okay?
And we will.
And we will.
And we will.
Okay? When I also said was because this forensic audit of $200,000 is a one-time expense, okay? And that will be, what?
I'll talk after.
Okay, well, it's
Yeah.
a one-time
One-time
expense in the next budget or whatever. So that will free up money later on. Also, the article, for well, because it's added, but it's gonna be in there for the tax rate, okay?
So
In July, it will be there for the
would show an
tax.
increase to the budget in subsequent years
Right.
unless we pull things out of the fitness material.
Right,
But
right,
the
right.
overall tax rate would stay level because it's just not shown in the budget.
Well, it will show in
The expense.
the expense
It'll be a
side.
non-budget.
And that's why we moved it out of there, because it is an added thing afterwards. If we would have just kept the citizens' article that I argued for about 45 minutes with, just as is, it was an advisory article, and sorry, we could have just said, we're not spending anything on it, thank you for the advisory article, we wouldn't have spent it. But others on the board at that time wanted to throw in a $200,000 number, not me, I argued against it, it got passed. Go figure, okay?
But yet that $200,000 has become a talking point of sorts. for-
Well, it passed overwhelmingly, so I don't even
agree.
want to talk about it anymore.
Okay, so we stopped. So what are some of the other changes that we like? The grant funding thing was, we asked you for the position that was, you were gonna look into, where it was a split position, administrative, in the planning commission, zoning commission, and.
The office manager.
The office manager
Yeah,
position.
that is at
So-
the correct.
That's at the correct.
Yep.
That's all I want to know, is at the correct,
Is
okay?
at the
Can you
correct.
show it to us? It's 56, I think?
55.
55, okay. Right, okay, good enough. It failed at 58, and I think before it was 26 and 26 in the two, but we had said that we are following the payments that we're making as of now, and you guys have gone through it, and that's what the payment is, would equal 55,000, correct?
Bonded indebtedness, solar panels pulled out because, again, that has not passed yet.
Correct.
But if passed,
It gets added.
it gets added in.
And if it doesn't get passed, then
And the
we're back
FEMA.
to
We
where
just carry it and carry it forever.
carry it, so hopefully it passes.
Yep. The FEMA, again, it's an estimated number because we don't have the final terms.
Yeah.
But we know that
Right.
the smart thing to do is to get it as soon as possible to assist with cash flow.
Yeah, as
So
long as we can beat
on
it
that
before.
subject, have we reached out to the other line painter for East Mountain Road and the other
They gave me a
road?
day of May 4th.
That's
Yeah,
good.
May 4th.
Okay, so
Let's just
that's
hope it's
good.
not raining out and it's not 30
Exactly.
degrees
But
out.
that pulls it forward by probably 5 months, so that's good.
Ricky, I think you had said sometimes, that was his experience.
With what?
That sometimes with LMD, they may not show up until September. or
Well, yeah, they
Well,
get.
that's how we didn't have it last year, because that's where, but that's.
So is it L&D or the other folks?
Yeah, we're not.
Okay, good.
So L&D is.
As long as we got it done before Memorial, I think that's great.
Yeah, okay, as long as we get it done before.
Thank you.
June 30th or 31st or whatever for this budget, so, well, no, we're still not gonna get the money this year because
It's FEMA.
it's gonna take a while
No.
for FEMA.
Yeah.
I thought that was state, isn't it?
There's two. So one is from the state, yeah. River Road, I believe, is state, and
Okay.
then East Mount Road would be FEMA.
Either way, it's closer to our bank account than it otherwise would have been.
Yeah, okay, so what are some of the other ones in here, Patrick? That you had changed in here? I think you said you might have added something in or whatever.
Oh, yeah, sorry, the fire chief position, so this is, we don't need to go executive session later on. The fire, which I've let you guys know already, the fire chief, his last day will be this coming Monday morning, and we are upping the amount to where it was previously, because part of his contract was use of a vehicle, so we're bringing that back up to 85 from 65.
We bought the vehicle.
Yes.
We bought the vehicle.
The vehicle was also,
So-
it's serendipitous that it
I mean, the new chief.
was supposed to be
Yeah,
bought this year
We just
anyway.
don't know. The fire SUV is ours. And
Yeah.
most likely, another chief is probably going to want to drive it. But to be realistically, in the past, the rate has been in the $80,000-$85,000 range, and you're
Yeah.
saying $85,000.
Yeah.
So that's gone from 65 to
To
85.
85, yeah.
Okay. I'd just like to say, was put out a thank you for the time that Billy Austin has been with us. I know he's been with us as a firefighter and as a chief, and just reach out to him and say the board said.
He did a lot of good for bringing the department together when it was pretty fractured
It's
this
a
last
tough
time.
position.
And definitely wish him the best.
It's a tough position. We'll leave it at that. Okay, so any other changes on here or whatever?
Not that I can think of.
Okay. So at the end of the day with those, what does it tell us? How much money
We gotta
has to
change
be
it.
raised by taxes? And
So we're at 3.79%.
Yeah, so the
over
total
municipal
amount
tax
has to
amount.
be, and what's the total that has to be for the municipal taxes?
Raised by municipal taxes?
Not raised by, the total budget,
The total.
without the education. Municipal budget
It's right here. 7,719,000.
7,719,899.
Let me double check that those match. Yep.
Okay. The failed budget was,
It's not on here. I think it's 8.
8.82? Was it 8.2?
So, again, 488,000, that was deficit.
right.
So,
It's important that you say that.
Let's stay calm, guys, okay? $8,235,500, okay? So there's at least a 500 and something, 500 and change difference between the two. But we're gonna have to add in currently with the 2 votes, we're adding in $200,000 right now that's already been approved for the forensic, okay? So that's 7,919,899. And then what else do you have, Patrick, now? We're saying the solar panels?
if we do the solar panels.
How much is that a year at the?
A year?
Well, because we said we're gonna go out 5 years on the loan, right?
Yeah, I
And
don't
people
have-
are telling us
We
that.
have to get the vote to get the terms of it, but it would be.
But in the budget,
Well,
did you have a
the
number in
article
the
should say
budget?
5
No.
years. Well, at one point you did.
I
but
thought there was a
That might have been in
It was an
version 2 or
estimate.
3. It was an estimate.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm
So
saying.
anyway, it's 200 and something thousand over
Probably like
5 years, so let's just say 50
70.
grand.
I think that was the
50
number
grand.
that was in the budget, was 50.
50 grand would be $250,000, okay?
Yeah, that makes, yeah. that's
So
what I got
7,969,899. What else do we have? That's about it, right?
If the bus passes, it'd be another 32,
32.
and then the other one, golf would be cap, that's golf.
Well, that's in there.
That's, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to tell you guys back there.
So we're really looking at $8,011,899. That's what we're looking at, okay, at this current time, instead of what it was of 8,235. So it's about $234,000 less at this point.
With
Okay.
150,000 more going to roads.
Yeah, okay. So now this is where probably, since we were in discussion or whatever, and I probably need your vest over there, if we want to switch or whatever, since I'm the chair, I'm going to have to start rattling off some motions here, but I feel like MB Neisner, a couple of years back, showing up with, when you showed up with a vest at the old school or whatever. This is the board making decisions for the town taxpayers that have asked for stuff. And not all of them have asked for it, I get it, but the budget failed. I get it that it failed by 35 votes or whatever, okay? But I also get that the year before it only passed by 15 votes, okay? So the budget has been up and down, and it's been different or whatever. So, on,
He's done doing laundry, right?
Kirsten, you're not muted.
No, I think it's Polly.
Oh, Polly, you're not muted.
Oh.
You know we're doing laundry now.
In a manner of speaking.
Okay. So, the highway department. Can I get a motion to allow the town manager to hire one highway department on ASAP?
So moved.
Any discussion? Reasoning behind it?
We got work
In
to be
the
done.
past, we've had, last year, we had 5 full-time and a foreman, and right, for the winter, we had 5 with Joel moving
6.
over. Well, this past winter, we were told you only had 5.
Yeah, we had 5 and 1 vacancy.
And 1 vacancy. So, but we made it through the winter with 5 and a foreman. So we're allowing the town manager to move forward and hire, as soon as possible, 1 full-time highway person. Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. The other position, what was, the other position we're holding on to, and it may be for a wintertime position, but we're not funding that position.
We're not going to fund the position, no.
Okay, so that's that.
So how much do you want?
So
you
how
want me
much is
to
a highway,
remove-
so,
I think I was used 26, 25. I can work it back and remove the
One-
funding for one of the highway positions.
One of the highway positions.
I'd like to see it reflected in the numbers, so.
You mean now?
Yes.
Let me make sure that that's what I budget that at.
I think you
I just
budgeted.
want to caution with removal of the
Thank-
positions.
thank
that
you,
you'll wanna
Kirsten.
double check and make sure that it's not a union position first.
Thank you, Kirsten.
Kirsten, we are following all legal advice. Thank you, though. This is not something that should be talked about with employees. You can talk to your union rep at this time. We can't talk to you about this. That's the rules, I believe. Roger, you've dealt with this at the school? I can't get into a conversation with an employee. Do not. Okay, thank you. So I would suggest that you save any of your comments to have your rep talk to the town council. That's all. Employees should try to stay out of the conversations because we're not going to reply. Boom. What is it, like $25, $26 an hour?
That's what I'm checking. I have it in my.
Well, Patrick's doing that. I'm sure the decisions that the board is making, it will all come back, Jim half. I'm okay with it, I have tough skin. So I get blamed for everything if it's only 3 board members or 5 board members. It's pretty good, thank you. Didn't know I had that much power.
50, that's what I counted as 52.
Okay, yeah.
And then can you make the adjustment also to the benefits page, please?
It's going to take more math than that.
This is where we should have an Excel spreadsheet that can just automatically do it, but that's okay. So I would just think that
I
there's...
have a different one that I'd have to do.
Yeah,
The
okay.
changes on. But it's gonna lower it by about 3,000.
Okay. I don't need to know the difference of the numbers right now, because I'm still going to go through. If you just change that there, okay, Patrick?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, because
So,
when you're done
yeah.
making all the changes, I can do that,
Yeah.
to give you a
So,
ballpark.
the other conversation that we had, and I'm going to ask for a motion, is that back in the day, when we were growing, because this is what I've heard, like a lot of the plans that the previous boards have made, we've grown too fast, we've put too much staff in or whatever, and this should be a stabilization, and we have to wait for a village to come on. But back in the day, it was Dave Lewis, it was Mona Hickory as a bookkeeper and an assistant treasurer, and I believe Pat Kime was a treasurer at the time. And they handled all of the accounting for all of the places that we have, plus all the condominiums coming on in the 80s and the early 90s, with the sewer line coming on in the 80s and the 90s, and with the, as we learn now, that the road, Killington Road, was done in the 80s or whatever, and they handled that. Right now, what I'm looking at is that we have a town manager, or we as a board are looking at, and we have a town manager, we have a bookkeeper, we have an assistant administrator, we have a treasurer, and we have a finance director, and then we have an assistant treasurer. We are not here for the treasurers because we put out for a vote, okay? And we do not handle your budget during the year. We handle it at the budget time, okay? So the discussion has, you got it down to 0, that can I get a motion to instruct the town manager to go through to lower the total to 5, okay, instead of 6 that are currently there now?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
I'm telling you, I've told you back there.
I'm asking the board for any discussion.
And I'd like to give you the input from the town manager.
Okay.
We're already drowning in work there. If we get rid of a person, there's going to be a drop in services. There's going to be more errors being made. It's a very short-sighted decision to cut someone that's handling the money when we have $47 million project and $25 million raise grant.
Okay. I've also listened to another employee that probably shouldn't really be talking, but told us, in order not to cut down an extra $800, $900, we were not doing our job of not looking at making other efficiency cuts and organizational cuts. So any other conversation, thank you for your comment.
Yep.
Okay?
I've reviewed the organizational charts, I've looked at the job descriptions, I go in, I sign warrants. It's time that we modernize town hall, the way we do business, the way we process transactions, and I believe to employees' points, we need to become more efficient and more organized in how we do, what we do, when we do, and why we do it. And I think if we go through those exercises, we will find them to be beneficial and useful for the long-term benefit of our town.
I agree, we need to do those things, but we don't want to set ourselves back what we're doing else.
Have they been getting done is the question, am I correct?
Let's keep the conversation to me, John,
Okay.
at this time right now, or whatever. I mean, I've also been told, like, me, grew the town too fast, and a lot of the arguments out there is that we need to find efficiencies, and we heard it again tonight. So I'm going to call the question. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Nay. Okay.
Citizens' comments?
Not yet. We're doing our budget discussion between us. Number 14 or 15 at this point is citizens' comments and concerns. You know? So,
Okay.
so, the next up is the police department. This is where I need the vest. Can I get a motion that we are in a hiring freeze and most likely we'll be working on a 2028 budget with the collective bargaining agreement because we're already doing the 27 budget at this time. Can I get a motion that we freeze the police department in the 2027 budget to 3 police officers plus the police chief at this time?
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion?
I'd like to say something, and you don't have to respond, since...
But I gotta be the same as with,
Go ahead, yeah, you don't have to
so
respond.
no, can you just wait until citizens' comments or whatever at this point?
Oh, sure.
Okay,
In discussion?
so, any discussion on,
So-
all in favor?
Aye.
Go on.
Part of this motion, I would like to include a retention
I would like to, we're
Okay.
doing this
piece by piece.
piece by piece.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. So, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Ricky said nay. Okay. So, is that all of the discussions that we had in there this time, other than the next one that you're going to bring up about, which, to me, it's amazing that, you know, the ARPA fund, we were told last week, probably had nothing in it, but now, and it is February 26th of 2024 that we obligated to employee retention, but the conversation back then was that we could move it into anything else, because at one time it was for revenue, lost revenue, whatever. We had a lot of conversations because during COVID, the restaurants weren't open, and the store and the lodging wasn't open, and we weren't getting the rooms and meals alcohol tax from that. But there was some 200 and something odd $1,000, and we need a rundown, really, like we said earlier, of how much has been really spent and allocated. But from there, since there is an employee retention grant fund, I'll let you talk about your
Well,
conversation.
specific to the police department, I propose that we provide a $5,000 retention bonus coming out of those funds for each of the 3 officers on staff.
So I would like to get a motion from the board to allow the town manager to work through and finding out how best to use these retention funds. It could be used on some, I believe it might be able to go to the revenue loss plus whatever. There's $147,000 here. If you look up, the funds had to be obligated by December 31st of 2024, and they must be spent by December 31st of 2026. So I would leave it to the town. I would like to have an motion from the board, someone, to allow the town manager to work through this $147,820.75 of the best way to apply.
I'm not
it.
sure that 800 something is the same, is it? I don't think it is.
147.
147 even was the ARPA grant, that $800
It was
is something
It was
different.
200 and something thousand.
I'm just telling you, the way it carried through was 147 from the
Yeah, 80.
ARPA grant, and that 821 popped out of
Okay,
somewhere
well,
else.
so we approved the March 31st, 2026 restricted funds. That shows $147,820.75. They're gonna run through a program that we asked them later to find out really what it is. Maybe it's 160,000, maybe it's 120,000, don't know. We're leaving that to management to find that number first, show it, and then come back with a plan. And I would like to say, I agree with you with the police, but I would like to see the town manager to come back with a plan for retention of all folks, okay? Of some kind of one-time whatever, okay?
So I
Like
think.
you were saying, 5,000.
Right, so I think, 500, the 5,000 to the police officers based on the discussions that I've had with Chief Montgomery about wages, comparable wages and so on. So that was the rationale there. And it would be ideal if we can actually use the grant for allocating against other things, to be able to use it to maybe buy down the solar panel
Well,
finance.
let's let the manager
Yeah,
come
I'm
back.
just saying,
Yeah.
I'm just throwing this stuff out, things that I would like to make sure are considered. And then whatever the delta is between the two, to work for a plan for the rest of the staff.
So I would like to get a motion to instruct the town manager to work through fund number 114, Workforce Retention Grant, number one, getting us what really is there, and then with a plan to use the funds. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Any other conversation? All in favor?
Aye.
I think that does that there. So, John is gonna be asking you to change the police department down one and whatever at this
Again,
time.
that one I have to actually run the actual numbers on.
We could sit here and wait.
We're going to go through citizens' comments, so.
That's fine, that'll give me enough time.
Did you give your town manager's report
yet.
with
No,
that?
he's gonna give it.
Why don't I do that, and then I'll come back to that.
Okay, let's do that then.
All right, so first we had, I'll say congratulations to Monica. She got awarded a grant to continue her education within the grant was from New England Association City and Town Clerks, and it's paid towards her trainings that she goes towards. It's very competitive, and she was awarded it.
This is directly to you, it's not to the town.
Yes.
Yeah, that.
Congratulations, Monica.
Thank you.
The other thing is, I want approval, we talked about this before, I think before the election. So, one of the ways you're working to offset the revenue gap that's in the FY '26 budget, our current budget, was to offload some assets. We've done that with the truck so far. We're looking to sell, one of the other ones was the firehouse on River Road. I want permission to list it with Judy Storch, who has who has previously sold town land. So list it at the assessed value of $101,200. Once we get, what that would do in this case would be allow us to post it in the open market. Once we get offers, the offers would come back to the board. The board would either tentatively approve or would hopefully pick one of them to approve. If there was none that were good offers, you could decline all of them. If an offer was approved by the board, it would get posted for 30 days.
I would
Where the
prefer to
public could
talk
do
about
it.
this in executive session underneath real estate, but since it's already out there now,
We've talked about it before.
Yeah, but we didn't get...
Not this board.
No, we didn't get to this point.
Well,
So what is the commission rate that we're going to get charged on this?
I believe 6%.
Okay, so when we sold the last fire station, if we already know it's around 101,000 or whatever like
It's
that.
assessed value.
Okay, assessed value. I just say, can I get a motion to put into the Mountain Times and Post that the town is putting up for sale, the firehouse, the address and everything, at 101,000 and whatever dollars it is?
Can we have discussion on the subject first?
Yeah, well, I'm getting a motion to, then we can have discussion. And it is as is, like we did the last building, and highest bidder wins. And we set the bar at the 101,000 or whatever it is. We don't really need a real estate agent to put the town property up. It's just put it out there, put it in the paper, put it online, and, come and bid if you want it. And give it 30, 45 days, whatever it is, and somebody comes in, and last time on the old firehouse, we had 3 or 4 people that bid on it. So can I get a second to my motion for putting it in?
Second.
Now you can have your discussion.
I'm against selling any town assets that I don't see that the long-term benefit to the town is greater than I feel the long-term benefit to the town to hold the asset is greater than the short-term benefit of the cash flow. So land, they're not growing anymore. We may have need for it at some point in the future, and we will pay far more than $101,000 to replace it in the future.
I agree with you on that, but there's any other conversation?
I don't know, we put it on a tax roll, then.
What?
If we sell it, we put it on the tax rolls.
Right. Forgive me, Councilman.
No, I agree with Vito on that.
Okay. I'm going to call the question. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those in favor, say aye.
No, but what was it again?
To put it through the
Yeah,
newspaper?
yeah.
Okay,
Aye,
without
yeah,
using a
yeah,
real estate
aye,
agent? Okay. Those opposed? Nay.
Nay.
So it's a 2-2 tie.
So nothing.
So
Status quo.
nothing. I really would just like to, I put this out for a while ago, asking for all departments. The only reason why my vote, I don't have an answer yet. All the departments were supposed to come back to us and tell us if they had any use for it.
They don't.
Well,
Besides
I don't have that
rec.
answer. And the rec had a use for it.
Is
and-
storing a van, but they said they
Okay.
could also store it under the canopies during the winter.
Yeah, but also, I think storing it there is a lot better. And I get it, there's mice, but there's mice in houses too. You just have to heat it and get treatment or whatever for that kind of thing. And I agree with John that the town really needs land. I mean, look, everybody's so excited about 70 acres for affordable housing or whatever, so I would just like to get a little bit more information in. But anyway, that question is done, it's stalled 2-2. What else do we have, Patrick?
That's all for manager's report.
Okay, so then citizens' comments, and you can start doing whatever. I'll look into the audience and see anything. Say, go ahead, Andrew.
Andrew Geller, I believe you guys are setting the town manager to fail with not having enough staff to do the job. We had the major town managers turnover in this town, one after the other one. Now we finally found a guy who cares about this town, has 2 kids in this town, lives here, deals with all the bullshit that we're all dealing with. And it's crucial to have the right people who are knowledgeable how to do it. I'm a business owner. Sometimes you have to bite the bullet, even if you're losing money, just to keep your employees. It's the #1 asset we have. And yet, to go around and just start cutting left and right, look, you guys got us into this situation where we're dealing with unions right now. It's you. I'm sorry, but this is totally you who brought this up. So that's my personal opinion.
Yeah, I know.
And, yeah, John, you might not disagree with me, but this is the situation that we didn't have prior. I think your job as a selectman is to think about better future for our town, and we need to have the right people working there. And I believe Patrick knows best how many people he needs to have on staff. Thank you.
Thank you. Whit?
Yes,
I gotta say, I'm a little surprised and shocked and quite honestly disappointed in eliminating the fourth position, which has been funded. It's an officer safety issue. I've explained, I'm almost at every single select board meeting, not to be included in this discussion and what effect and impact that is gonna have on not only our department, not only the morale in the department, officer safety, but as well as the safety of the citizens in our community. Our call volume is over 200+ calls increase at this time over last year at the same time. Okay, we got one officer who's out on medical, and she's going to soon be leaving for an extended period of time.
It's personnel stuff, so you have 3 officers.
I'm
I don't want to get into.
We don't have to. I'm explaining the reasons why I've requested a fourth person. I presented a plan 1.5 years, 2 years ago, a recruitment retention program, which was not going to cost the town a lot of money. It was voted down by the board at the time, and that's what's led to difficulty hiring that fourth position. So I wish I was included in these discussions. I don't think the citizens voted down the budget, thinking that public safety was going to be part of these cuts, but it's going to impact response, it's going to impact officer safety, and probably the morale of the police department. So I spoke to the new select board members who ran. They supported the public safety. A vote to eliminate a position, I don't think it's looking at the big picture. I had measured growth in my budgets every year. With that measured growth, I've looked 2 years out, I've looked 2 years past, I focused on the time, I've looked at stats. And I've asked for what I've asked for based on stats. And eliminating that position is not looking at the stats. And I wish I was asked a question or offered some input on that cut that was just made. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Rob Kowalewski. So that Fund 114, we're going to determine what the budget is on that. Is it really 147, 160, 120? But rather than say that that becomes a retention bonus for all employees potentially to participate in, do we think about reevaluating, since originally we said salaries and COLA was frozen, and certainly I thought that was during this whole union negotiation. Might we consider, are there some spots to put whatever that amount is that will benefit the safety of the town and the workflow? Just raising a question.
I think you're just helping Patrick with the idea, because we left it with Patrick to come up with an idea on how to spend those funds.
Okay.
Any other questions? Any questions from the Zoom? I see Josh, I think it's Eckler with his hand up.
Yeah, I have my hand up. I was expecting to hear something about fire chief this evening and maybe a committee put together for hiring of a new fire chief.
We were just told tonight that the fire chief left in executive session underneath personnel. So we'll get to that. We've had a conversation with Patrick, but that's hiring and it's the town managers, and he'll come back to us because I think he just got it really, when did you get the resignation?
Earlier this week.
Okay, so, it's something on our radar there. And actually what Patrick did, he just jumped it and the board approved to go from 65 to 85 for a fire chief. So we will have to get to that point where there'll be a hiring committee again, Josh, but thank you. I was just told within the last hour. As a board member, telling me at Home Depot, asking me if I heard, so if we're going to get there, I said, I heard a rumor, but I'm at Home Depot. I heard a rumor. The board just found out as a whole tonight in executive session on 8th personnel. That's all. But thank you, Josh, and it is one of our concerns, and it's always been our concern about a fire chief. It just seems to be turning and turning and turning. So, Kirsten, you are an employee and you can speak, but the board's not going to respond. This is a citizen's input.
For a response, I would just like to reiterate that every position you've cut is a union position, and that's all I'm going to say.
Thank you. Anybody else? Not hearing any. We are moving on to selectmen's concerns. Vito, you have any concerns? Ricky, you have any concerns?
Yeah, I do. Actually, I just want to say that I stand by 100% what I said a couple weeks ago on that, the letter that I read, and nothing has changed. I mean, I think there's a lot of stuff that's actually proves the point, and that's all I've got.
Thank you. John, you have anything? Stay away from any union,
I guess I'll just leave it at, I think.
I could have told you, Ricky, you should stay away from union.
I think any conversation on the subject would be assist me in, so.
Okay. So, my concern or comment or question to the town manager is that on 1 through 3A, the water from the wells to the storage tanks, we've had some, last week I think we had an SRF for a higher value or whatever. We did sign, I believe, at one time for a change order, okay? Is that like, there's some hearing numbers out there, a $600,000 or $650,000 change order for it? That's been approved, that's moving forward, or it's been done, or whatever, and the funding just had to be done?
Right.
So that was one of the questions, or whatever, for that there. So I can answer to that when somebody comes to me, which is why we're pushing for this other meeting or whatever, so we can get some answers out there or whatever. As far as with Great Gulf, I believe this year we were supposed to get to Great Gulf by April, a document showing how much money has been spent and how much money is actually owed. Have we provided that to them?
No, we're working on that.
Okay. I believe the contract said that it had to be done by April, whatever, but let's just get on that right away.
The values need to be set by April.
No, not that. I'm not talking about the values of their property. Did we lose everybody?
No.
Okay.
No.
What I'm asking for is in the development agreement by 2027, by April 1st, I believe, of 2026, we're supposed to be providing not only to the developer, but to the board, an accounting thing of how much money has been spent on what, how much money has been granted to us as grants, how much money is owed, and what the developer is actually on the hook for. Because I believe in the next budget of 2028, even if they don't build anything or there's no increment financing up there, they're on the hook for that fund. So they would like to know what they're on the hook for so far, and I would like to know as a board member, and I guess we can get into that when we talk about it at this meeting, that we can get all that. My third thing is committees. I think I asked like 2 or 3 meetings ago. I mean, when you go into the back of the book, sometime, normally like it's in May or whatever, but there are appointed positions. So Planning Commission, Jennifer, 2026, Vince Wynn, 2026. Their positions are up. Development Review Board, John Wasaki, you're up. You just gave in your resignation for that. Don Martin is up. Recreation Committee, Ara, I'm sorry, the R's look like N's. Ara Dadarian and Amy Spear, 2026. Town Service Officer, Deb Burke was up 2024. Health Officer, I was up 2024. I think I was reappointed again, the book might just be off. Regional Ambulance Service, Mark Fury, 2024. Rutland Regional Planning Commission, Will Austin, we're going to have to do that, 2025, and Lisa Davis Lewis is the alternate. Rutland County Solid Waste, Jay Hickory, 2025. So if you just go through here, and we got to, this is part of our job, and we need to know, and we need to discuss who is going to be on our committees. This is what this board gets to do, and we get to pick who is on. And each year, there is a change of people. You're going to also have to go and ask these people, do they want the position still? And so Jennifer, I don't know, so and some of the others, I don't know. But we need to go out to them and say, your position is up. Would you like to be reconsidered again for it? That's all. That's one of our things that we do here. And other than that, I don't have any other concerns. Executive session personnel, since we did go in for legal union, which ended up getting into some personal discussions or whatever, also underneath that, there is nothing for executive session. So it is 9:22. Can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.